morning, everyone. I am Julina Dimasumpad, and I am the first presenters in this presentations. But before I'm going through with my discussion this morning, let me introduce to you my group mates. We have Judiana Licando, GV Malinkis, and Shanine Magduboy. So we are the group 2 and the ninth presenters. So the overview, presenting topic, discussion, summary, and questioning. So for today, we're going to discuss about teaching the literacy in an integrated way. So micro-teaching activities. So when we hear the word micro-teaching, what comes into your mind? So when we say teaching or micro-teaching is scaled down teaching encountered in a class size and class time. So meaning to say that based on the definition, micro-teaching is a teacher training program in which the teachers or the students enrich their teaching skills through practice teaching and scaling down the class size and duration of period and teaching skills and the size of the topic under uncontrolled conditions. So meaning to say, like for example, if the students or the number of the students is from 5 to 10, then the duration period ranges from 5 to 20 minutes. So that is according to Allen 1996. It focuses on the class size and the duration period or the time. Micro-teaching also is a teacher training technique that plays a significant role in developing teaching skills and the student's teacher. So, micro-teaching can also be understood or defined as an innovative method of training for pupils, teachers, as pre-service or trainee teachers to become potent teachers in a real setting by practicing skills in an artificial setting. So, micro-teaching also can be defined as specialized training for the pupils, teachers, or trainee teachers to gain specific skills in specific teaching skills. So, that is a micro-teaching. And this micro-teachings was originated for the first time in Stanford University, USA. Let's proceed to the teaching skills. Teaching skills is a set of behaviors or acts of the teachers that facilitate students' learning. So, teaching skills is the ability to impart knowledge. So, the teaching skills that involves interrelated behaviors, and those different sets of such teaching acts or behaviors are named according to the purpose to be fulfilled. So, teaching also is observable, definable, measurable, and demonstratable, and can be developed through training. So, that is teaching skills. And according to Vicky Pasi, teaching skills is a set of related teaching acts or behaviors performed with the intention to facilitate the pupil's learning. And according this teaching skills also applied specific instructional activities and procedures that the teachers may use in the respective classroom. Use in his respective classroom. So teaching skills also can be practiced one by one up to the mastery level under specific and simplified situations, and they also provide specific appropriate feedback if systematically given proves very significant for obtaining a mastery level in each skill. So the first thing that they do is they have practiced it one by one so that they can be able to simplify it in the situations, and by that they may able if they can be able to proves ever significant of obtaining a mastery, then it's the time for them if it's the time for them to have to be integrated in a real room teaching. So when the idea is that when all skills have mastered taken one by one, then they can be integrated for real classroom teaching. So skill training can be conveniently transferred from a simulated teaching situation to the actual classroom teaching situation. So there is steps or a process that they needs to be integrate in order for them to master the level of each skills, and after that they're going to transfer to the from teaching situation to the actual classroom teaching situation. So the concept is a single skill for practice, one concept for content for teaching, and a class of 5 to 10 students have 5-10 minutes of practice time. So like as what I've mentioned earlier, the focus of this micro teaching is the class size and the class time, or the duration of period. Like for example, if the number of the students is 5 to 10, then the duration period or the ranges from 5 to 20 minutes, because it's focused on the size of the class size, and the, the class time for a time to practice. So that's given. So that's the concept of micro teachings, and we have also the steps of micro teaching to be discussed with you, my group mates. So that's all for the micro teaching, the concept and the definition of micro teaching. So that's all for my report, and now let's proceed to the steps of micro teaching to be discussed by the next reporters. Thank you for listening.
Okay, good day everyone. So since Jelena Masumpat is already tackled about the concept and the definition of micro teaching, now let's proceed the steps of micro teaching. So there are 6 micro teaching, or the steps of micro teaching. The first is plan, the second is teach, the third is feedback, and the fourth is replan, and the fifth is reteach, and the last is re-feedback. So now let me first introduce to you the 3 steps of micro teaching. So the first is plan. So when we say plan, it's all about selecting topic, right? So plan is this involve the selection of a topic and related content. So for example, being a teacher or in a classroom setting, so imagine as a future educator, we must to master how to create a lesson plan, right? So by doing that, we can able to list down the things that we need to do in teaching in a specific subject, or in teaching our students. So also, the topic is analyzed into different activities of the teacher and the student. And also, the activities are planned in logical sequence. So, in making a lesson plan, as we observe, there is what we call the objective, the subject matter, the procedure, and etc. So by that, we can, as a future educator, we can able uh, to follow the sequence in by the sequence when we are going to teach our students. So and also in being a teacher, we must to plan also in doing in including activities for us. For us being a teacher, we can able to know the thinking of the students in a specific grade level, or in a specific area, because every students have their individual capability in doing different activities. So the first is plan. The next is the second is teach. So teach, this involved the attempt of the teacher trained to use the component of skill in suitable situation in the process of teaching, rather learning as per the rule or the planning activities. So being a future educator, so we need to have this kind of attitude that we can able to handle the students. So by that, we can able to teach them the exact the exact topic about the specific subject, right? So teaching, it includes also the courage and the confidence to handle the situation arising in the class effectively, enable to because teacher the is the model or the role model of the students for them to gain knowledge, ideas, and information um, from I gain knowledge information from your discussion, right? So teach is the second steps rather in micro teaching. So it is understandable, right? So now let's proceed to the third steps of micro teaching. So the third steps of micro teaching is feedback. So feedback refers to the giving information to the teacher trained about his performance. So as a future educator again, so being a teacher, uh, we give our feedback, especially in group activities or individual performance, because feedback it helps the teacher also to train to improve his or her performance in the desired direction. So again, as a future educator, we must to give feedback, especially in such activities or performance, or even in a questioning manner. We must to give feedback, or for or giving them rewards for them to have a confident and courage or participation in a specific area. So it is very important that being a teacher, we give feedback to our students. So to sum up everything, the three steps of micro teaching is: first, plan; second is teach; and the third is feedback. So in plan, it includes the selection of topic, or the selection of topic that you should create and able to have a plan or a guide. The next is teach. After creating a plan, uh, the next steps is teach. So in teaching or in teach, it includes the discussion of your topic or your plan. It includes the activities and uh, able you to uh, to able you to able you to have the courage and confidence to handle the situation or in the classroom setting. So the third is feedback. So after teaching, you give feedback to the students for their performance or activities. So the remaining topic will be discussed by Miss GV. So that's all for my report. Thank you for listening.
Hi everyone, my name is Jeve B. Malinkis, the next presenter. So my co-group mates discussed the steps in micro teaching, which are the plan, teach, and feedback. Now I will continue her report, which are the replan, reteach, and refeedback. First, we will know what is replan. So replan, the teacher trainee or replans his or her lesson, incorporating the points of strength and removing the points not skillfully handled during teaching and the previous attempt, either on the same topic or another topic, suiting the teacher trainee for improvement. So now, why the teacher trainee need to replan his or her topic? The teacher trainee will remove those not skillfully handled during his or her lesson, or the teacher will change the teaching strategies in teaching the learners that suited for them. Now, what is the purpose of Replan? So the purpose of Replan is mastering skill, ongoing process. Thus, once the micro-teaching revolves or the process is repeated, this repetition involves the replanning of the lesson plan. And also, the aim of this replanning is to master the skill mentioned earlier. Next, what is reteach? So reteach, this involves the teaching the same group of student is changed or a different group of students topic is the same. This is done to remove boredom or monotony in the students. So the teacher truly teaches the class with renewed courage and confidence to perform better than the previous topic. So the purpose of reteach is the idea not to teach the lesson twice, but identify what aspects of a lesson plan or the specific lesson students may be struggling with, focus on those so the learners thus keep doing. So the reteaching is an essential part of instruction that promotes students' learning and motivation. Teachers should continuously monitor the progress of students to make sure that the concepts of skills are mastered. So the reason why the teacher will reteach because they want the learners to be mastered what is the lesson all about, and they will also motivate the learners. Last, feedback. So what is feedback? So feedback, this is the most important component of micro-teaching for behavior of modification of the teacher training in the desired direction in each and every skill practice. So the feedback is the most important component of micro-teaching for behavior. Why? Because it modification of teacher training in the desired direction in each and every skill practice. So the feedback, there is a time duration of micro teaching. So teach within 6 minutes or feedback 6 minutes, replan, and also equals of 12 minutes. So what is the purpose of feedback? So the purpose of feedback, it influences how students feel about their course, their performance, and themselves. It is important then to structure feedback in such a way to maintain of increase students, motivate, and to encourage them to focus on learning goals rather than performance goals. So in teaching, feedback is very important because we will correct the mistake of our students, and we will also encourage them, and we will also give them a motivation for them to make a performance good, or they will do the performance, and also they will focus the learners will focus the learning goals. So why the replan, reteach, and refeedback are very important? This is very important because through these teaching strategies, we can correct our learners, and also the learners, they will know what is the wrong or what is the wrong of their activity. That's why it is important. The steps is very important in micro teaching.
Okay, so good morning once again. So I am Shanine B. Magduboy, and I am the last reporter, and my topic is all about phases of micro-teaching. So there are two phases of micro-teaching, the knowledge acquisition phase and skill acquisition phase. So now let us discuss first what is knowledge acquisition phase. So when we are talking about knowledge acquisition, it is the phase in which the trainee teachers learns about the skills and its component through discussion, illustration, and demonstration of the skill given by the expert. So this is the very first phase of micro-teaching, and it is also very important. So this phase is all about gathering knowledge about the various skills needed to become a successful teacher. So the trainee teachers here, they use different kinds of lectures, they use different kinds of strategies, and even they presented illustrations and demonstration videos to understand everything about the teaching career. So in this phase, the trainee teachers understand the learning or the meaning of micro-teaching and what a teaching job involves. So in short, in knowledge acquisition, it is all about discussion, illustration, and demonstration, so that they will, the teacher will understand, or the trainee teacher will understand everything about the meaning of the career, about the meaning of teaching career. The next one is the skill acquisition phase. So on the basis of demonstration presented by the expert, the teacher trainee plans a micro lesson plan for practicing. So this is the second phase of micro teaching, in which it is on the basis of teacher demonstrated presented by the expert. So the teacher trainee should plan a micro lesson, or they will be making lesson plan to practice the demonstration skills. Of course, when we are going to teach, so lesson plan is very needed, as it is our guide to practice our demonstration skills. So the teacher's trainee practices the teaching skills through a micro-teaching cycle and continues his or her effort until he attains, or he or she will be going to attain a mastery level. So in short, skill and knowledge acquisition phase is very important when we are going to teach, because the knowledge acquisition phase, it is all about gathering knowledge, and how are you going to discuss or present your lesson to your students. And skill acquisition phase, it is your guide to practice your demonstration skills as well. So those are the phases of micro teaching. So now let us move forward to skills of micro teaching. So if there are 2 phases, there are also 6 phases, 6 skills rather, of micro teaching. So the first skill is the introduction skill. So when we are talking about introduction skill, it is a micro teaching skill that is important, in which help the future teachers in how to make an effective introduction of a content or a topic while teaching in a classroom. So if you, as a teacher, if you know how to introduce your topic in your class, of course your students will be motivated to learn and convince them of the benefits of the lesson holds. Of course, if you know how to introduce your topic, your students should learn as well. So the next one is the very important part, is the skill of probing question, or the skills of questioning. So this is the most important skills while we are teaching. It's because asking penetrating questions in response to students' initial answer, you need to direct the pupil's attention back to learning process by questioning. Of course, if you are asking different kinds of questions to your students, of course it will enhance their communication skills and develop their confidence. So it will also help you as a teacher to have interactive learning between your students. So the next one is skill of explanation. So this is the most important skills of micro teaching as well. It's because it involves deliberate change and it is one of the most important aspect of effective teaching rather. So it is simply the expertise of a teacher that enables them to engage in effective communication with their students. So in short, a skill of explanation. So if you know how to explain your topic to your students, of course it will helps you. It will helps you to develop your communication, and it will also enhance your it will also enhance your confidence and communication skills while explaining the lesson. So in short, it will also help you to have interaction between your students as well. So the next one, or the fourth one, is the skill of stimulus variation. So it involves deliberate change in attention drawing behavior of the teachers in order to secure and sustain students' attention to what is being taught. So the next one, or the fifth one, is the skill of blackboard writing. So this is the most important part as well, or this is the most important skills in micro teaching as well, just because when we are talking about blackboard writing, it is a powerful tool or visual tool, facilitates effective instruction in the classroom. So it will not only provides learners with a holistic understanding of a lesson through visual representation, but it will also aids a teacher in retaining the attention on the classroom. So of course, if you have effective visual tool in teaching, of course your students will enable to learn as well, and it will motivate them to learn in your class. So the next one, or the last skill in micro teaching, is the skill of achieving closure. So when we are talking about closure, of course, it is the wrapping up of your lesson. Meaning to say, it is the step where you wrap up a lesson plan, and it will help your students to organize the information in a meaningful context in their minds. So of course, if you are teaching, if you are going to wrap up the lesson, of course, you will be going to give your students different kinds of activities so that your students will should organize, or will organize the information in a meaningful context and in their minds. And of course, it will help them to have interaction between you and your students, and it will also enhance their confidence to answer in your class. So those are the skills of micro teaching. So in conclusion to my report, so there are two phases of micro teaching, which is the knowledge acquisition phase and the skill acquisition phase, in which it is very important, so that you as a future teacher should attain the mastery level of teaching. And this we have also the skills of micro teaching: the introduction skill, the skill of probing question, skill of explanation, skill of stimulus variation, skill of blackboard writing, and the last one is the skills of achieving closure. So those skills will help you, and how are you going to demonstrate or to teach your students in the future as well. So that's all for our report, and thank you for watching and listening.